Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We are Baltimore Positive. That sound you hear in the background is the sound of another happy customer here. We're at Pizza John's in Essex. We're back River Neck Road. It's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. I have the Maryland Treasures collection from the Maryland Lottery here. Also, our friends at GBMC putting us out on the road. I had an exam. I literally got my blood work back like an hour before I came to Pizza John's. And the French fries and gravy that I wanted it so bad. I just had cheese pizza. It's low-fat cheese.
No prostate exam?
Not yet. That was colonoscopy was last year. This was just checkup. I'm 57, dude, you know. So I have boardwalks. I have bridges. That's the Bay Bridges. I have the Blackwater motif with crustaceans and herons, as well as the acetique horses. Also, our friends at Farland and Dermer. They are the comfort guys, keeping me comfortable with all things HVAC. A little hot, a little cold, but more than that, also the plumbing part of keeping the I had a leak earlier in the month. They came, saved my life. Thank you for that, the Comfort guys. All right, this guy's kept me comfortable at various concerts on both sides of the Eastern Shore. He is a yacht rocker of high magnitude. I cannot believe I've been on the radio 35 years and known this guy probably 15 years and never put him on the air with me. But he's now a published author. Ethan Giffin is here. He has been my friend for a long time at Groove Commerce. We were business associates many years ago, closing the digital revenue gap. 10 revenue blind spots that are costing you more than you think. This is going to be a business segment, isn't it? I thought we were just going to eat pizza and talk about DJ Opie.
We can do it all. We can, I'm multi-versatile. So, I wanted you to have a copy of this. You gave me a signed copy of your book, and so I wanted to return the favor and bring
My
you a
book
signed
had a
copy.
happy ending, though. What about this thing? What is this? How do I get happy ending? You've been making more money here, though, right?
Yeah, it'll help you make more money. If you're a manufacturer or distributor, it'll help you make more money. So
all right, first things first. Ethan's my dude. We've been to rock concerts together, classic rock, southern rock. He jams some EDM from time to time. He's a purveyor of disco in the 80s. He once created a disco stage inside of his company and invited me there many years ago. Tell me what Groove Commerce is. Let's start with that, and I'll get to your Hagerstown background, your rock and roll soul, and your yacht rock sort of angle. And John Allen's here from Stone Horses too. He's ordering pizza because he's from Essex. He knows where the counter is here at Pizza John. This ain't his first rodeo in Essex. Oh, yeah. And I know you guys have a Hagerstown thing going on because first thing you said is, I'm from Hagerstown, Kicks country. And you have no idea who you were talking to there in regard to Kicks.
I do. But, we've never met before. We had never met before.
Well,
so. I like to throw kicks out, right? I'm a Hagerstown
Dude, if John Allen isn't friggin' Essex royalty, no one is. You know what I mean? Being this close to the Seagull, there's no way I don't have. So I have Essex royalty here, and I consider you, along with Emily Keller, to be Hagerstown royalty.
Ooh. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You've had a Crumpy's Donut, haven't you?
I've had a lot of Crumpy's Donuts.
Tell everybody what's unique about Crumpy's Donut, just to prove that you're from Hagerstown.
Well, they're handmade. They're delicious. They make them fresh every night.
And if you want them at 8 in the morning, you can't have them.
No.
You have to go at night.
You got to go at night. You got to go in the alley. Shout out to the Crumpy family.
I took John there. I took John down the Crumpy Alley. We'll talk about this when he gets his pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
talk about it.
But you're a Hagerstown guy, and you worked for Steve Bisciotti's former company.
Yes.
You had a whole background.
Yep. So, I've been in Baltimore since 1999. So, relocated to work at Aerotech and had a magnificent 8 years at Aerotech. And then after that, I formed an agency called Groove Commerce. And we help mid-market manufacturers and distributors that want to sell online, basically. So we help them architect e-commerce systems and then help them build them, connect them to their accounting and finance systems in their warehouse.
And you were doing this really early on.
Yeah.
I mean, when I met you, you were doing this, and I was trying to build WNST.net. Mm-hmm. And you were an admirer and a friend. He's listened to the show and all that. Very complimentary of my Super Bowl coverage because he's a listener. But I remember getting together with you down in Canton when you were in the incubator down there, and I was getting my first website built by R2I, probably about 2007, 2008, right? Yep. And I met you, and I thought, here's this bright guy doing this online thing, but you were doing stores, and I'm like, what am I going to sell? A WNST hat, a shirt? You're like, well, you could do that. We could set you up for that. And I'm like, but my business, I was a digital newspaper media. I was in a different line of work than you.
Very different.
But I knew a lot of people that used you
Yeah.
and became vendors of yours or partners of yours, and HubSpot and all these other things that you turned me on to years ago. But I didn't see that, like, my wife would buy shoes online without trying them on. I never saw that part of the internet. You saw the commerce part of the internet early on, right? Am I right in saying that?
That's absolutely it.
Oh,
That's
right there.
absolutely
So
it.
I have hung out with you enough. See?
We have helped many organizations sell hundreds of millions of dollars of product through their websites. In fact, I don't know what day this is going to air, but May 2nd will be our 19th birthday for Groove. So it's a huge thing. So, I'm starting to think about what I'm going to do for the 20th anniversary. I think you may have been at the 5th anniversary for Groove
Was that the
Commerce.
disco?
That was the Yacht Rock Revue live at Little
Oh,
Havana.
I was at that event.
So
I thought that was related to your wedding or your marriage.
No. That
was a work event?
Groove's 5th birthday.
That was too much fun for a work event.
That was way too much fun. We can get into the story.
The Orioles yesterday, I'm walking through Camden Yards and somebody had an Oriole Yacht Rock hat.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, how much money you could have made had you seen the Yacht Rock movement. You know
what? I always saw it, but I never wanted to monetize it. It's so funny. It's something Yacht Rock has been ever since I've been a little kid. Grew up, my uncle, who's only about 13 years older than me, worked at a record store. He worked on WARX radio out in Hagerstown, rock and roll. He would bring all these records and promos. And, when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, he's given me Steely Dan records. He's given me, Hall and Oates records, Captain and Tennille,
Right.
REO Speedwagon, all of these things. And so I have such an immense love for music. I never wanted to cross the streams and try to monetize that because it's so kind of, if you've seen me at a Yacht Rock show or at a Hall and Oates show, it's like pure joy for me. And I didn't want to somehow like turn that into a money factor. I wanted to keep that very close, to my joy.
Well, he hired Yacht Rock Revue when nobody had ever heard of them. You flew them all up from Atlanta, and you're like, this wasn't cheap. So you flew them all up for your 5th anniversary, and we all got together, and they've turned out to be the seminal Yacht Rock band. I had Nick Esposani on last year when they played downtown. My wife's like, they're playing 2 nights at Dewey at the Bottle?
Yeah.
And the night that they're playing in New York, and Nick had invited me because I couldn't get tickets last year, they're playing that Pier 17 out in New York. Thomas Dolby said it's like one of the greatest places to go.
I want to go to that. So I want to go to that show.
I'm going to be in Ocean City at Mako that night. It's in August. I can't do it.
Yeah, so that story is just amazing. I had found them. I had fallen in love. There was this Yacht Rock kind of web series of short videos that were that a group out in California had made for this Channel 101. And it was all funny stories about how the creation of Yacht Rock happened. And then at that time, there was this band in Atlanta that took it up as a joke. And so I started following them on YouTube. And as I was coming up on Groove's 5th birthday, I had emailed them and said, hey, I know you guys play in Atlanta. I see you guys sometimes make it to D.C. and New York. Do you ever, are you ever going to be up this way? And it just so happens they were driving from Atlanta to New York City the same week as Groove's 5th birthday. And so what they said to me was like, listen, if you put us up for 2 or 3 nights in Baltimore in the middle of those gigs, right? Like we will do your event.
You're financing their trip, basically.
We finance part of the trip,
yeah.
and I think I gave them $5,000, which I shouldn't even say on the radio at the time, and then they absolutely tore down Little Havana. People come up to me to this day and say, "What was that band?" And I'm like, "Well, now they play."
Well, when I
Trap,
had Nick on the show last year, I obviously mentioned you, but he remembered that night.
Oh yeah,
going into South Baltimore and plugging his band in from Atlanta. You were one of the first true believers in them.
Yeah.
Look, you're one of the first guys that called Baltimore. Like, I guess we could play there, right? Private part, like they weren't that band. Now, if you called them $5,000, you might not get Nick on the phone. You may get a cameo.
You're not even getting
a cameo from Nick.
You're not getting a guitar pick. They are great friends of ours, of my wife Christina and I's, and they have been a part of so many of my life events, just randomly lining up with these things. They randomly lined up with Groove's 5th birthday. They randomly played in Baltimore right after we had gotten engaged in Mexico. We got back on a Wednesday and they played on a Friday, and that was our engagement party. On my 50th birthday, they were playing on my birthday. They played on my 51st birthday here in Baltimore, and it was like they played our wedding, which of course we hired them to do. And so, they've randomly lined up to all these life events with me. I sometimes joke that I see them more than my family, like on my birthday.
Well, I got to see them this year. They're one of my wife's favorite bands, too, for sure.
Absolutely. If you have not seen the Yacht Rock Revue and you love Steely Dan, Hall and Oates, Michael McDonald, Doobie Brothers, and, anything from that era, they are better than the original artist at this point in their.
Well, they were opening for Train up in Philly 2 years ago, too. So Ethan Giffin is here, purveyor and wannabe manager of Yacht Rock Revue.
Wannabe.
But he is the author of Closing the Digital Revenue Gap, 10 Revenue Blind Spots that are costing you more than you think. Trusted advisor to manufacturers, distributors, and WNST Baltimore Positive. He runs groups. So book and a time. It's funny being a digital guy writing a book. This is a book online. The book's on tape.
Yeah,
you got your clone voicing it. What's going on?
Yeah. It's I would say what's old is new, right? I think people are looking for analog experiences, and I've been doing this. Like, quite frankly, I've had Groove almost 20 years at this point, and I've been doing it for many years before that. And so it was time to start putting down a lot of the stories of the people that I've met on the road. And the book is basically 10 stories of manufacturing and distribution companies that are having challenges, and it's why that challenge is hard and some things to think about if you're in that challenge. And so all of it's based around, one of the big areas in e-commerce is our organizations are creating private buyer portals. And so these aren't like Nordstrom.com or Target.com. These are actually private e-commerce stores for their customers to come in and buy their parts and products from them and see their pricing terms, their price book, the warehouse availability, see their shopping list of the things that they order. Many companies are only approved to order certain products, from different manufacturers and distributors, based upon contract agreements. And so what we're doing is building private buyer portals for these organizations that want their customers to come in and be able to buy from them at 10 o'clock at night or on a Sunday morning, or I really like to say, on the toilet if they want to while they're on their phone. And so that is the topic of the book. And so it felt like the right time to do this. I actually wrote a 300-page book. This book is a compact book that you can finish on an airplane ride, but I actually wrote a 300-page book, and people are like, it's too long. And so I probably have 2 more books behind this of material that I can put out. And so I was excited to do it, and it's available on Amazon, and also, if any listener is curious about it, I'm happy to give them a free copy. Go to b2becombook.com and get a free copy. So happy to do that. So
if you own a business, this is important for you. If you own a business that sells things on the internet,
or if you're a business that distributes or makes things, and you're trying to figure out, hey, my customers are saying, why can't you be more like Amazon? This book is for you. Right, so these are modernization, transformation. We call it technically the consultant speak for that is called digital transformation, right? Or
I've been trying that for 20 years. Hope it's working.
Industry 4.0, which is kind of they call Industry 4.0 kind of the next industrial revolution that's being brought on by AI, internet connected devices.
You just said AI. You just said AI.
I said all. Do we have to do a shot every time we say AI?
No, I want you. I haven't, dude. You got like kids and a wife and a band and a book and like you and I don't hang out and drink beer and go to shows together anymore. Although we should. We should. You're DJ Opieing late at night, like John shaking his ass after I've been to bed. Like, you can't come on at 11 o'clock at the Auto Bar and expect me on a Friday night to I just can't do it.
No, and quite honestly,
I need a matinee. Springsteen came on at 7:30 last week. That helps.
Listen, I would much rather start at 8 o'clock than I would to start at 11 o'clock these days. So, But
when you're DJ Opie and you wear white and you hang out at, at these fancy schmancy joints spinning all that hipster stuff.
Yeah.
What are you spinning?
Well, I'm playing, quite honestly, a lot of people are having me in to play Yacht Rock. Okay, and so kind of my side gig has been so what I'm really focused on with my DJing actually is being a part of nonprofit organizations, getting involved with the board or the event board,
and then work in the room,
and being the DJ
gets you throw the party,
bringing all the production. I just got tired of going to events with bad DJs and like poor production. And so
This
it's
is a
my
public
way to
service.
contribute back to these organizations.
Well, I'm going to start
And
an
so-
organization just to hire you. If I make it a nonprofit, you work free, right?
But and yeah, so yeah.
Well, once you get a slice of Pizza John's Pizza, you're going to work for pizza. I'll tell you that right now.
go down here, get some Pizza John's, I feel like
Don't do that. I'm going to get John over here to do the Essex accent. John Allen's going to join us from Stone Horses a little bit. Ethan Giffin's been my friend. They're both my friends through music. You and I have talked a lot about music here, I guess through all this. And why now on the book? I mean, obviously a marketing side of things. I was kidding around with you. I saw you at the Oreo game a couple weeks ago in the truest suite. I won't tell anybody you were sneaking the cupcakes out to me.
Oh, that was actually a really enjoyable experience, by the way. It
was a good scene.
Yeah. So our company, we had our managers in town for an all hands, and so we normally sit in the bleachers. I'll be very honest with you. We normally
and you bougied it out.
And the ticket guy said, "Hey, listen, we've got this opportunity. We haven't sold all the memberships yet. We can do this, and it's like all inclusive, right? And it's not like." We have a mix of our team, and so it was everything from, beer and wine. They had crab cakes the night before. They had prime rib. So
it was a nice afternoon. I saw you in the afternoon. Yeah.
It was a really nice afternoon. The seats are great up there. I'm 6'3", right? Built like a middle linebacker, right? So the seats are wider. They've got mesh. It's like I think the Truist Lounge is a great experience. I think that we could talk about the Orioles, and we got to work on more on the on-field aspect of the Orioles. But I think what Rubenstein's been doing to the stadium, I think, is a great look overall for the city.
Yeah, I spent the afternoon there, and my wife hadn't been down yet, so she had her observations about the scoreboard and different changes and all that stuff. But local guy, he's a Hagerstown guy. Ethan Giffin's been my friend for a long time, into music, into rock and roll, and DJs as moonlights, as they would say.
Yep.
So for Groove Commerce, people call you for what now?
Yeah, so what they call us for is to help them with this digital transformation. We're helping them create buyer portals and systems to be able to connect with their customers. Oh, we've got some.
I think John ordered meat sauce. Did you order meat sauce? Just straight meat sauce. That's what you did? What are you, from Eastwood? What's wrong with you? Sonata Pizza's here.
It smells great, by the way.
Should I take a break? Closing the Digital Revenue Gap is the book. Ethan's not for everybody, but he is when he's DJing.
Oh.
Not everybody owns a business and is going to open a portal.
Everybody loves me, Ness. Everybody loves me.
I love you. I had you out. I haven't
Yeah.
had you on the show yet.
Yes.
for
I'm
all
excited
this.
to be here, quite honestly.
Well, I'm going to talk music. When John gets done mooing on his you better not have COVID, dog. I'm telling you right now, dog. I'm going to have to change out the spit guards on this. He's a mess. So you came in and you said to me, to him, oh, Hagerstown, and you guys had a Hagerstown moment. John's like, my band played out there, and we're doing this and that, and Crumpy's Donuts. He and I went to the theater in Hagerstown.
Okay.
What's the Maryland
The
Theater?
Maryland Theater. Yeah.
We saw a Meatloaf tribute band that night, and I dragged him out there, and his band was playing, what's the name of that joint up there?
Hub City Vinyl.
He's eating his pizza.
Yeah.
Hub City Vinyl.
Yeah.
So his band was playing up there, so we went up, made a whole night of it. And he didn't know about Crumpy's. He didn't know about Donuts at 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Crumpy's is so good. Yeah, Hagerstown, they did a great job of remodeling.
The ballpark's new,
Yeah,
right?
Ballpark's new. I have not been up to any of that, quite honestly. I've been in Baltimore at this point.
Did you go to Suns games when you were a kid?
I did, and
All
in
right.
fact, I remember
They were Blue Jays, right, at the time?
No, they were Orioles.
And then they became
so
Blue Jays
we
after
had
that.
when I was a kid, they were Orioles, and during the World Series run,
Sure.
and so I remember being, I think I was 8 or 9 years old, and it was fantastic. And at the time, they would have the Orioles come up and do an exhibition game with the Suns. Right, so Rick Dempsey and all these guys,
Tippy, all that, yeah.
they would all be up there, and then Jim Palmer came up to rehab when he was injured, and that was all the height of his underwear ads. And so the women of Hagerstown were going nuts and throwing their panties on the Hagerstown
And
Suns
still
field.
are. Or
Yeah.
chicken wings at this case.
Chicken wings. Yeah.
How can a man be 80 years old and never had a chicken wing?
I don't know.
Not even by accident.
I don't
what I
know.
mean?
I got a great Jim Palmer story. He was my next door neighbor. And so my wife was very, very pregnant at the time. And I'm walking up and I see this man rubbing my wife's belly. And I'm like, who is touching my wife? And as I get closer, I realize it's Jim. And I'm like, I don't think I can punch Jim Palmer, for rubbing my wife's
That's a
belly.
Cy Young. That's a Hall of Fame hand rubbing
And,
the belly.
yeah, it was great. And
How old's your child now?
He is 8. So
Got a good right arm or no?
yeah, he does. He's
All
loving
right, gotta rock
baseball. And he's loving Towson Rec League baseball.
So you got him playing baseball, not lacrosse.
Well, he's doing both, but he's really taken to baseball. So he was anti-sports for a few years and has really, really taken to baseball. And it's really been great for me. And it's fantastic for him, but I love watching him. Last night he was playing catcher for the first time.
I had 2 extra tickets yesterday. I should have texted you and your kid.
I wish I wanted.
They weren't in the truest club, but they were still good seats.
Listen, I was going to try to take him out of school yesterday early and take him to the game, but I just had another commitment.
I took my wife out of work early yesterday and took her to the game.
That I couldn't get out of.
When Curio Wellness says you got seats for you down, Wendy, thank you. Becca, everybody taking good care of me. So I went to the ballpark. Ethan Giffin is here. I want to hold you over to have a Hagerstown moment because
Absolutely.
you met John. You're like, hey, he looks like he's in a band. And then you're like, hey, Kicks. So we're going to tell some Steve Whiteman stories. Yeah, we are. We're down here in Essex. We're at Pizza John's. John's band's getting together. Anytime I get him near the Seagull, I'm all for it. Which Maryland treasure is it for you? Are you Boardwalk? Are you Bay Bridges with a lot of hope? Are you mollusks and herons and birds? Or are you ponies of the Assateague? Which one are you?
I think, I was always a big fan of the Dutch Bar. So I'm going to say the OC down on the boards.
Down in the Boardwalk, down
Come
there
on.
with it. Ocean's calling. They're calling down there. Man, it bums me out that I'm not going to go with you to New York that night to see Yacht Rock at Pier 17.
I've got to convince my wife to do it. I don't think I'll have a problem convincing her to go to New York, but it's
midweek. It'll be summer night. Yeah, it's
Thursday.
Thursday
I think
night.
it's a Thursday night.
It
Yep,
is.
in August, and so. So we will be turning it around from Dewey Beach. We're going to be at the Dewey Beach show.
I'll be at Fager's Island the night that you're shaking your hiney out on Pier 17, looking at the Brooklyn Bridge. You'll have better pizza than I will.
Maybe.
I'll be in Ocean City. Never been a Two Goes guy. All right, Ethan Giffin's going to hang out. He is from Groove Commerce. He is now an author in addition to being DJ Opie. The book is Closing the Digital Revenue Gap. If you run businesses, is there anybody in the city that runs a business that you don't know? Like, seriously.
Well, there's a lot
You've
of
been
people.
doing this
actually.
a long time.
It's interestingly enough, most of our clients, actually all of our clients, are outside of the Maryland area. So
I got to open a digital business and get rich.
Yeah.
So you got to teach me how to do that. Before I go to John, the AI thing, I just wanted to ask you about that because John and I have an AI thing going on. I'm going to talk to him about it in a minute, probably on the air. AI in your business, I would think it's like huge, right?
It's huge.
And whoever can get there first, it's a pot of gold, right?
Yeah, I think, from our point of view, I'm not a believer that like people are all going to lose their jobs tomorrow, right? I do believe that there is going to be, a continued evolution of that. But AI has been one of the most powerful things that has helped our clients like move forward in ways that they couldn't do it before. So, if you're a manufacturer and you've got 5,000 SKUs or 1,000 SKUs that you create, it helps us to get the catalog in shape for the public. All the things. It helps us to analyze big data, and it's just been incredibly impactful.
Helps you make better decisions.
Makes better decisions.
It really does. I mean, that would be I have a lot of people that look like I cut a fart. And I'm pretty far left. I mean, I'm left of Bernie Sanders on most issues that aren't like death penalty, where I'm probably right of Donald Trump some days on that one. But I see people really turn their art farts, people that are creative like me. I'm a creative person. I'm not saying no to that. I'm saying, damn, get on board and help me. Help me be great. And AI has been a tool I have used for 5 months. I thought I was going to use it for my process. I haven't figured that out yet. And you're that guy that I could never get to the process side, but the art and the creative side, oh my God.
Well, and I think I actually said this to you at one point, but I would be taking all your 40 years of tapes, 30 years of tapes of all these interviews and things, and I would be loading those transcripts into AI and creating, what they call basically a RAG system where you've created your own
large language model,
your own database of, Ness AI, right? Where all of that, or even for yourself.
Just I'm hanging out. Just keep going. It's gonna get me rich. Go ahead.
But just even being able to catalog your body of work and have that in a way that you could go back and search against that and find what you're looking for is fascinating.
See, I'm using part of that right now in the transcript part of what I do to better create content. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because I have a fun story for John. John Allen is here from Stone Horses. He is put the band back together. Child's Play will be playing down in Columbia on the 30th of the month in time for my wife's birthday. They're doing it in a nice plaza with available parking, putting the band back together, so it's going to be a lot of fun. John's going to be here talking about Stone Horses and the new song and video and free shows. He's playing Danny Ocean next weekend, and I'm glad he's not sick. Must be feeling pretty damn good. He's over there on his third slice of pizza right now. We're at Pizza John's in Essex, all brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery in conjunction with GBMC. I got my blood report back this morning. I got spanked by my doctor, so I wanted a cheesesteak with double provolone. I wanted French fries and gravy to split with you, of course.
Just do it.
I have refrained. I'm going with the salad and the oil and the vinegar. Getting fat shamed by my doctor. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it looks like you've got great metabolism.
I thought I was healthy, and then I gave my blood. Now I'm a mess. So I'm going to try to organize here. This was all listed as preventative and not emergency oriented, but it was. It began with the word "unfortunately" from my doctor, and it told me that I needed to make some lifestyle changes. So my lifestyle change today was, damn it, I can't have any crinkle-cut fries with gravy in Essex? What's going on here, man? Pizza John's going to disown me if I don't order some. John's over there eating that pizza. God, he's going to be halfway through.
He's killing it. Let me tell you about GBMC. Well, when I ask my 8-year-old, what's the best thing that's ever happened to you? He'll be like, the night he spent at the GBMC emergency room. I'm like, he is crazy. I'm like, my son must be crazy. A little bit of backstory. My mother was watching my son. He slipped on a t-shirt on the floor, was running around, slipped and fell and hit his forehead on the doorknob.
Okay, so
and
he's bleeding.
Really sliced himself open. And he laid there like a trooper while they stitched his forehead back up. But it's just so bizarre to me.
How old was he at the time?
Like, he was probably 5.
And he remembers. Well, it's a vivid experience.
Very vivid. And
you remember
he said
every
that's
part
one
of
of the
that,
best things that he's ever done. I'm like, I found that crazy.
You're either a really bad dad or he's a strange kid.
Well, no.
If it's the best thing he's ever done, you need to take him to a ball game.
Believe me, he's been to enough stuff, and we are equally surprised. But they took fantastic care of him there, had a wonderful experience.
All right.
And as very kind of scared parents of what was going on, it was great.
Listen,
overall.
I love you at GBMC, but I am not going to say. I will say that the woman who stuck me and gave me the needle, it didn't hurt nearly as much as 90. It was. My wife asked me how it went. I'm like, well, I'm traumatized, but it didn't hurt. It was like a really small pinch. So I've had mosquito bites that have been more problematic than that needle by a lot. Actually, I feel pretty good today. So good that I might get a couple of French fries, not a lot of French fries. Ethan Giffin is here. John Allen is here from Stone Horses and Charm City Devils and SR71. And on behalf of my original OGs, Child's Play, putting the band back together later on in the month. And I always mess up all the band names, and he makes fun of me. We're back for more at Pizza John's in Essex, Hagerstown, Dundalk, and Eastwood all coming together. Stay with us. We're Baltimore Positive.